Hello students, today in a paper Labor Laws with paper code BBA07 we are going to cover the topic of third unit, that is the Trade Union Act 1926. Here we will learn about the object, definitions and registration of trade unions. I am Ragini Dikshit, working as Assistant Professor, School of Management, BBT University. Now coming to the introduction slide. Trade Union Act 1926 is associated with registration and production of trade unions. The act is applicable to whole of India. Trade union means an association of workers in one or more occupation for protection and promotion of the interest of working class, including workers or laborers. So trade union is an association of workers in one or more occupation, and for why this association is formed for protection and promotion of the interest of the working class, including workers and laborers. Now the object of the act is following objectives were closely associated with Trade Union Act 1926. These are to protect workers against exploitation by employers, that is to protect workers against exploitation by employers, to represent the grievance of employees, that is grievance you can say the dissatisfaction of employees on behalf of them to the management, that is these trade union do the work of representing the grievance of employees. Then to protect and safeguard right of workers provided to them under employment clause or labor laws, that is to protect and safeguard rights of workers, to increase participation in management for decision making, that is to increase participation in management of workers and in decision making also, to take disciplinary action against workers doing indisciplinary action, as well as it also facilitate the disciplinary actions against workers doing indisciplinary action. So the main object is to protect workers against exploitation by employees, to represent the grievance of employees, to protect and safeguard rights of workers, and to increase participation in management, as well as to take disciplinary action against any workers who is doing any indisciplinary actions. Now coming to the important definitions which are given in the Trade Union Act 1926. First, a definition is of the appropriate government. In this act, the appropriate government means in relation to trade unions whose objects are not confined to one state, the central government, and in relation to other trade unions, the state government, and unless there is anything repugnant in the subject or constant. So the trade unions whose objects are not confined to one state, that is trade unions who are working for more than one state, for them appropriate government is central government, and other trade unions the state government, unless it has been specified. So the trade unions which are working in more than one state, appropriate government for them is central government, and in any other cases the appropriate government is state government unless otherwise specified. Then executive. Executive means the body by whatever name called to which the management of the affairs of a trade union is interested. Means the body by whatever name called, it is known as executive. It is the executive to the management of the affairs of a trade union is interested. Then office bearers in the case of trade union includes any member of executive thereof, but does not include an auditor. So members of the executive body are known as office bearers, but excluding the auditor. Prescribed means prescribed by regulations made under the act. Registered office means that office of a trade union which is registered under this act as the head office, that it will be known as registered office. Then registered trade union means a trade union which is registered under this act. Registrar. A registrar of trade union appointed by the appropriate government under section 3 and includes any additional or deputy registrar of trade unions. And in relation to any trade union, the registrar appointed for the state in which the head or registered office, as the case may be, of the trade union is situated. So any registrar which is appointed by the appropriate government under this act will be known as the registrar. Now, trade dispute. Trade dispute means any dispute between employers and workmen, or between workmen and workmen, or between employers and employers, which is connected with the employment or non-employment, or the terms of employment, or the conditions of labor of any person. And workmen means all persons employed in trade or industry, whether or not in the employment of the employer or employer with whom the trade dispute arises. So, trade dispute means any dispute between employer and workmen, between workmen and workmen, or between employer and employer, which is connected with employment, or non-employment, which is connected with employment as well as non-employment, or the terms of employment, or the conditions of labor of any person and workmen. So, trade dispute means any dispute between employers and workmen, or between workmen and workmen, or between employers and employers, which is connected with employment or non-employment, or the terms of employment or the conditions of labor of any person. Workmen means any person employed in trade or industry, whether or not in the employment of the employer or with whom the trade dispute arises. So, workmen means any person who is employed in that particular trade or industry, and it may not include the employment of the employer with whom the trade dispute arises. Trade union means any combination, whether temporary or permanent, formed primarily. It means it is a combination. It can be temporary or permanent, and which is formed primarily for the purpose of regulating the relations between workmen and the employers, or between workmen and workmen, or between employers and employers, or for imposing restrictive conditions on the conduct of any trade or business, and includes any federation of two or more trade unions. So, this trade union means any combination, whether temporary or permanent, which is formed primarily for the purpose of regulating the relationship between the workmen and employer, between workmen and workmen, or between employers and employers. And these trade unions believe in imposing restrictive conditions on the conduct of any trade or business, and include any federation of two or more trade unions, provided that this act shall not affect any agreement between partners as to their own business, any agreement between an employer and those employed by him as to such employment, any agreement in consideration of the sale of the goodwill of a business, or of instruction in any profession, trade or handicraft. So, this will not include in the definition of trade union, that is the agreement between partners as to their own business, agreement between employer and those employed by him to such employment, and agreement in consideration of sale of the goodwill of a business, or of instruction in any profession, trade or handicraft. Now, coming to the chapter 2, that is registration of trade union, how you can register your trade unions. First of all, we will learn about the appointment of registrars, that is given in section 3. The appropriate government shall appoint a person to be the registrar of trade union for each state. So, the appropriate government is responsible for appointing the registrar for each state. The appropriate government may appoint as many additional and deputy registrars of trade union as it thinks fit for the purpose of exercising and discharging under the superintendence and direction of the registrar. So, the appropriate government may appoint as many additional and deputy registrar as it thinks fit for helping the registrar, that is for purpose of exercising and discharging under the superintendence and direction of the registrar. Such powers and functions of the registrar under this act as it may by order specify and define the local limits within which any such additional or deputy registrar shall exercise and discharge the powers and functions so specified. So these functions of these additional or deputy registrars will be defined by the appropriate government, and it can appoint as many additional and deputy registrars to help these registrars in exercising their functions. Subject to the provisions of any order under subsection 2 where an additional or deputy registrar exercises and discharges the powers and functions of a registrar in an area within which the registered office of a trade union is situated, the additional or deputy registrar shall be deemed to be the registrar in relation to the trade union for the purpose of this act. In any area in which the additional or deputy registrar exercises all the powers and functions of a registrar in a particular area, he shall deem to be a registrar for that particular purpose or for that particular place. Mode of registration, how a trade union can get registered itself, that is mode of registration. Any 7 or more members of trade union, at least 7 members are required. So any 7 or more members of a trade union may, by subscribing their names to the rules of the trade union and by otherwise complying with the provisions of this act with respect to the registration, apply for registration of the trade union under this act. May, by subscribing their names, the 7 or more members of the trade union and complying with the provisions of this act with respect to registration, apply for registration of the trade union act, the trade union under this act. Now, where an application has been made under subsection 1 for the registration of trade union, such application shall not be deemed to have become invalid just in case by reason of the fact that at any time after the date of application but before the registration of the trade union, some of the applicants but not exceeding half of the total number of persons who made the application have ceased to be members of the trade union or have given notice in writing to the registrar disassociating themselves from the application. So once the application has been made under the registrar for the registration of trade union, it will not become invalid if the number of persons are reduced to half, but if it reduces more than half, then it becomes invalid. Then application for registration. Every application for registration of a trade union shall be made to the registrar and shall be accompanied by a copy of the rules of the trade union. So every application for registration of a trade union shall be made to the registrar and shall be accompanied by a copy of the rules of the trade union and a statement of the following particulars. It will accompany a copy of rule as well as the statement of the following particulars. Such application will be made to the registrar of the trade union for getting the trade union registered. The names, occupations and addresses of the members making the application. It will contain the names, occupations and addresses of the members, the name of the trade union and the address of its head office, the title, names, ages, addresses and occupation of the office bearer of the trade union. Then, where a trade union has been in existence for more than 1 year, before the making of an application for its registration, there shall be delivered to the registrar, together with the application, a general statement of the assets and liabilities of the trade union, prepared in such form and containing such particulars as may be prescribed. Now, a trade union shall not be entitled to register under this act unless the executive thereof is constituted in accordance with the provisions of this act and the rules thereof provided for the following matters. So provisions to be contained in the rules of a trade union means particulars, as well as it has to attach a copy of the rules. And what will be the rules? That is the name of the trade union, the whole of the object for which the trade union has been established, the name, the object, the whole of the purposes for which the general funds of a trade union shall be applicable, all of which purposes shall be purposes to which such funds are lawfully applicable under this Act. So the whole of the purposes for which the general funds of the trade union shall be applicable. The maintenance of a list of the members of the trade union and adequate facilities for the inspection thereof by the office bearers and members of the trade union. The admission of the ordinary member who shall be persons actually engaged or employed in industry with which the trade union is connected, and also the admission of the number of honorary or temporary members as office bearers required under section 22 to form the executive of the trade union. Then the payment of subscription by members of the trade union, which shall be not less than 25 paise per month per member. The condition under which any member shall be entitled to any benefit assured by the rules and under which any fine or forfeiture may be imposed on the members. The manner in which the rules shall be amended, varied or rescinded. The manner in which the members of the executive and the office bearers of the trade union shall be appointed and removed. The safe custody of the funds of the trade union and annual audit in such manner as may be prescribed of the accounts thereof, and adequate facilities for the inspection of the account books by the office bearers and members of the trade union. The manner in which the trade union may be dissolved. Then part to call off for further particulars and to require alteration of name, that is the power of registrar. The registrar may call for further information for the purpose of satisfying himself that any application complies with the provision of section 5 or that the trade union is entitled to registration under section 6 and may refuse to register the trade union until such information is supplied. If the name under which a trade union is proposed to be registered is identical with that by which any other existing trade union has been registered, or in the opinion of the registrar, so nearly resembles such name as to be likely to deceive the public or the members of either trade union, the registrar shall require the persons applying for registration to alter the name of the trade union stated in the application, and shall refuse to register the union until such alteration has been made. So the registrar can ask for the alteration of the name of the trade union if it nearly resembles any name which may deceive the public or the members of the other trade union, or it is similar to the name, or it is identical to the name of any other trade union. It can ask the trade union members to change the name or alter the name of its trade union. Then registration. The registrar, on being satisfied that the trade union has complied with all the requirements of this Act in regard to registration, shall register the trade union by entering in a register to be maintained in such forms as may be prescribed the particulars relating to the trade union contained in the statement accompanying the application of registration. So the registrar, if he is satisfied the trade union has complied with all the requirements of this Act in regard to registration, he can register the trade union by entering in a register to be maintained in that register to be maintained in such form as may be prescribed the particulars relating to the trade union, and he can register in this way the registration can be done. Then certificate of registration. After doing the registration, the registrar, on registering a trade union under section 8, shall issue a certificate of registration in the prescribed form, which shall be conclusive evidence that the trade union has duly registered under this Act. So after doing the registration under section 8, the registrar can register the trade union and he can issue a certificate of registration in the prescribed form, which will be an evidence to prove that the trade union can use this certificate as an evidence to prove that it has been registered under this Act. Then cancellation of registration. A certificate of registration of a trade union may be withdrawn or cancelled by the registrar on the application of the trade union to be verified in such manner as may be prescribed. If the registrar is satisfied the certificate has been obtained by fraud or mistake, or that the trade union has ceased to exist or has willfully and after notice from the registrar contravened any provision of this act or allowed any rule to continue in force which is inconsistent with any such provision or has rescinded any rule provided for any matter provisions for this which is required by section 6. So cancellation can be done first if application is made by the trade union and if the registrar is satisfied due to certain reasons. For example, if he is satisfied that the certificate has been obtained by fraud or a mistake, or the trade union has ceased to exist, or has willfully and after notice from the registrar contravened any provision, etc., it can cancel the registration of the registered trade union, provided that not less than 2 months previous notice in writing specifying the ground on which it is proposed to withdraw or cancel the certificate shall be given by the registrar to the trade union. So the registrar gives the at least 2 months, at not less than 2 months previous notice to the trade union that it is going to cancel the certificate before the certificate is withdrawn or cancelled, otherwise then on the application of the trade union. So if the registrar by himself is going to cancel the registration, he gives the notice to the trade union at least 2 months before. Appeal. And person aggrieved by any refusal of the registrar to register the trade union or by the withdrawal or cancellation of a certificate of registration may within such period as may be prescribed appeal where the head office of the trade union is situated within the limits of a presidency town to the High Court. So against the registrar, a person or a trade union can go to the High Court, where the head office is situated in any other area, to such court not inferior to the court of an additional or assistant judge of a principal civil court of original jurisdiction as the appropriate government may appoint in this behalf for that area. So appeals can be made against the registrar to these courts. The appellate court may dismiss the appeal or pass an order directing the registrar to register the union. The appellate court may have choice, may have two choices: either it can dismiss the appeal or it can pass an order directing the registrar to register the union and to issue a certificate of registration under the provisions of section 9, or setting aside the order for withdrawal or cancellation of the certificate as the case may be, and the registrar shall comply with such order. For the purpose of an appeal under subsection 1, an appellate court shall, so far as may be, follow the same procedure and have the same powers as it follows and has been trying a suit under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908, and may direct by whom the whole or any part of the cost of the appeal shall be paid, and such costs shall be recovered as if they had been awarded in a suit under the said code. In the event of the dismissal of an appeal by an court appointed under clause B of subsection 1, the person aggrieved shall have a right of appeal to the High Court, and the High Court shall, for the purpose of such appeal, have all the powers of an appellate court under subsection 2 and 3, and the provisions of those subsections shall apply accordingly. Registered office. Section 12 tells us about the registered office. All communications and notices to a registered trade union may be addressed to its registered office. Notice of any change in the address of the head office shall be given within 14 days of such change to the registrar in writing, and the change address shall be recorded in the register referred to in section 8. Incorporation of registered trade union. Every registered trade union shall be a body corporate by the name under which it is registered, and shall have a perpetual succession, that is, the people may come and go, but this trade union will live forever, will go on forever, and a common seal with power to acquire and hold both movable and immovable property, and to contract, and shall by the said name sue and to be sued. So these are the various characteristics of a registered trade union. That is, it has a perpetual succession, it has a common seal, it has a power to acquire both movable and immovable property, and to contract and shall by the said name with the name of the trade union can be sued, and it can also sue others. There are certain acts on which not to apply to registered trade union, certain acts which do not apply to Trade Union Act. The following acts, namely the Societies Registration Act 1860, the Cooperative Societies Act 1912, the Companies Act 1956 shall not apply to any registered trade union, and the registration of any such trade union under any such act shall be void. So this was all about your object, definition and registration of trade union. Hope you are clear with this, that is registered trade unions. Now let us revise what we have done. First we have done the definitions. There are very few definitions given in this presentations, or you can say in this act. That is, first is your Trade Union Act and 1926, that it is came into force in 1926, and it is generally associated with registration and protection of trade unions. Okay, and this act is applicable to whole of India, and generally trade union means association of workers in one or more occupation for protection and promotion of the interest of the working class, including workers. The main object for which this Trade Union Act is formed is to protect against exploitation and to represent the grievance of employees, to protect and safeguard rights of workers, to increase participation in management, and to take disciplinary action against workers doing in disciplinary actions. Then there are few definitions. For example, the trade unions which are operating in more than one state, for them the appropriate government is central government, and the trade unions which are operating in one state, for them the appropriate government is state government unless otherwise specified. Executive means the body by whatever name called to which the management of the affairs of the trade union is entrusted. Office bearers are in the case of trade union and include the members of the executive, but it does not include the auditor. Prescribed means as prescribed under this act. Registered office means the office of trade union. Then registered trade union means trade union registered under this act. Registrar means any registrar who is appointed by the appropriate government, and the appropriate government may also appoint as many as additional or deputy registrar as it thinks fit. Trade dispute, you can say it is a dispute between employer and workman, between workman and workman, and between employer and employer, and generally it is connected with the employment or non-employment, or the terms of employment, or the conditions of labor or any person. Generally workman who is workman means all persons employed in trade or industry, whether or not in employment of the employer with whom the trade dispute arises. Trade union, as I have told you, means any combination, whether temporary or permanent, formed primarily for the purpose of regulating the relationship between workmen and employer, or generally trade unions are formed to regulate the relationship between workmen and employer, between workmen and workmen, and between employer and employee. Then these, as I have told you, these registrars are appointed by the appropriate government, and appropriate government may appoint as many as deputy and additional registrar as it thinks fit. Then mode of registration, how these trade unions can be registered, this is given in your section 4. Any 7 or more members of the trade union may, by subscribing their names to the rules of the trade union, can get themselves registered. Application can be made, and no trade union can be dismissed just because, or application of a trade union can be dismissed just because of the fact that the total number has been decreased, but it should not exceed half of the total number of persons who made the application. Then application should contain the names, occupation and address of the members, the name of the trade unions, the title name, age, addresses and occupation of the office bearers, and where a trade union has been in existence for more than 1 year. Before the making of an application for its registration, there shall be delivered to the registrar together with application a general statement of its assets and liabilities of the trade union. Where the trade union has been in existence for more than 1 year but it has not registered itself, then it has to give an general statement of its assets and liabilities prepared, and should be prepared in such form and contain such particulars as may be prescribed. So these are the various rules which should be accompanied with the application. Then the registrar has to power to call for further particulars and to require alteration of name it is similar or it is trying to deceive other companies. Then registration, after registering the trade union, if the trade union has complied with all the procedures, the registrar can register the trade union and can issue the certificate of registration, and this certificate of registration can be used as a proof that the particular trade union has been registered. Then cancellation of registration, the registrar can cancel the registration on the application of the trade union or of any or it can or if the registrar thinks fit that the certificate has been obtained by fraud or mistake or any or other things, he can cancel the registration. Then appeal can be made against the registrar to the High Court or to the head of any other court which should not inferior to the court of an additional or assistant judge of a principal civil court of original jurisdiction. Then registered office, all communication notices to a registered trade union may be addressed to a registered office. Then incorporation of trade union, registered trade union means every registered trade union shall be a body corporate and by the name under which it is registered, and it has all the characteristics of a company like for the perpetual, it has a perpetual succession that it will continue and a common seal, and it can acquire both movable and immovable property. There are certain acts which are not applicable to registered trade unions. These are Societies Registration Act, the Cooperative Societies Act 1912 and the Companies Act 1956. So students, this was all about your object, the definition and registration of trade union. Thank you class.